Hi everyone, it's Tom from the team at WB Trading, and on today's video I wanted to cover a topic that we get asked about a lot, and I know it's important for a lot of traders, and that's prop firm funding, and specifically what funded account or what prop firm is going to be best for you. Now, prop firms exploded in recent years, absolutely. There's loads out there, and there's loads of great prop firms offering different benefits, different access basically to larger accounts that you can trade without having to risk your own capital. So with all those prop firms, with all those avenues towards getting a larger account, it can be a little bit confusing, particularly when, these are businesses that are there to bring you in initially as like a customer. So, there's a lot of enticing offers there. There's a lot of factors to consider. Certainly when we've gone through with traders who are looking to get funded, and certainly when our team have gone through and got funded accounts, you need to look at the whole picture. And there is no perfect prop firm out there, but there are certainly a lot of factors that, it's good to focus on. So in today's video, what I wanted to go through is cover some of those factors, show you some examples of prop firms that our traders have used and our team uses, and why they're good, and also a few things just to watch out for if you're looking for your own prop firm. So yeah. All that being said, guys, let's jump in. Just very quickly before we dive in, if you're still struggling with your trading, or you'd like to know more about how mechanical edges are traded, I've put together a free video course for you that will map out and explain everything in detail, along with walking you through exactly how the mechanical rules actually work. If you'd like to watch that after this video, I'll pop a link in the description. You can click through and you can watch that straight away. So the first step with any prop firm, and the first thing you need to consider, is how easy is it to actually get past the test, basically get approved as a prop firm trader. Prop firms have a variety of different entry exams. Some have, say, a 30-day or a 60-day trading period where you need to achieve a certain level of profit without hitting a certain drawdown. Some have tests where they want to see your trading record, and then some even have phone interviews or even in-person interviews. And there are others that have a combination of these factors. So figure out what is going to be best for you in terms of, are you a trader that's got an extensive trading record of successful trades and consistency? Are you a trader that can kind of handle that short-term pressure of maybe having, say, a 30-day entrance exam where you have to hit quite a high profit target? So there are a lot of different approaches here. Let's have a look at a couple of ways prop firms run these tests. So first up, let's have a look at FTMO, one of our most popular prop firms with traders that come through the WB Trading team, and they have a very straightforward challenge process. They've got 2 steps before you become an FTMO trader. They've got the initial challenge, 30 days of trading. You need to trade for at least 10 days, and you've got to hit 10% profit basically. You can see here that I've selected the lowest balance here, 10,000. So they set their profit and loss as a function of that original account size. So obviously if you increase it, you can see that it goes up, and also the refundable fee goes up. So this is a fee that you would have to pay to take the test. If you pass, they'll basically refund it. If you don't, obviously that fee's waived. So in terms of that, what you want to look through there, predominantly the account size that's right for you, and they do it in stages like most prop firms do. Once you pass the first test, you would come on to the verification stage, which is kind of a repeat. It's just got a longer period to do the testing, and there's a smaller target. So you see here, instead of going for a 1,000 profit target on the 10,000 account, you're only going to be required to do a $500 profit target. So a little easier, and there is no fee to do that second stage. Once you do that, you're in as an FTMO trader. To compare it to a couple of other prop firms, if we have a look now at Audacity Capital, they're a prop firm that works a little differently. So there's an application form to fill out, ask you about your trading background. If you're looking at the right fit, there'll be an interview. You can do it face-to-face. I don't know anybody that's done a face-to-face with Audacity. I know a few traders that have done a phone interview though. But I imagine it'll be just like a job interview, going through your trading background, experience, any struggles with trading, etc., how you've overcome things, all of that kind of stuff, and then you'll get told quite quickly and start trading. So there is no kind of 30-day period of trading on a demo to prove that you can achieve that consistency. So it's a little bit of a different approach, may suit some traders better than others. Finally, if we have a look at Funded Next, just another type of prop firm, fairly straightforward, fairly simple compared to how FTMO works. You've got a period of trading, you've got a maximum daily drawdown, overall drawdown, and profit target. You can see here that basically they say they're going to do a two-stage process like FTMO does it. Phase 1, need to hit 10% profit target within 4 trading weeks. And after you get through that, phase 2, you only need to hit 5% within 8 trading weeks. So very similar to how FTMO works. And this kind of process, this kind of entry-level exam, tends to be the more popular one amongst prop firms. So if you're looking at it and thinking, I've got a really extensive trading record, I know what I'm doing there, maybe someone like Audacity might be better, an easier entry basically. These ones though, they're very black and white in terms of what you need to do to get past the tests, and it's always worth having a trial run at a couple of these prop firms. You can do free tests, you can do a free 14-day period I think on FTMO now, just to see, can you trade successfully with their platform and get an idea of the targets that's required to pass those tests. Next up, let's have a look at profit splits. So, once we have a trading account with any of these prop firms, what's it like in terms of the payouts? And we'll link this as well to account sizes. Firms will often have a variety of account sizes and you'll be able to scale up as you become more profitable. So it's worth considering that as well. But one of the key points absolutely is, what's the payout like between, what you actually trade for them and what percentage of that you're able to keep. So let's have a compare at a few different prop firms. So if we have a look now at the prop firm profit splits, if we're talking about Funded Next to start with, they do this with a lot of prop firms and say up to a certain amount of profit sharing, so it's always good to double check. But here it says, we start out with an 80% profit split, which is pretty generous, and you can scale it all the way up to 90% as you grow your account. So that's certainly something to consider. Obviously, a great place to start, 80%, and going all the way up to 90 is fairly lucrative in the prop firm world. Certainly, you won't find a lot of prop firms that are offering better than that. If we have a look at a couple of others, Audacity-wise, initially you'll get that profit split of 50-50, so it's quite low. You could argue, the entrance requirements are slightly easier, but yeah, this is certainly a factor I would consider. Obviously, they do have what they call fast scaling, so every time you reach a 10% target here, they'll double the size of your trading account. I don't know exactly what the cap is on that, what it goes up to. I don't know anybody that's hit like a cap on Audacity, so maybe they'll just scale it quite high, I would expect, to compensate really for that 50-50 profit split. But it's certainly worth considering. If we have a look at another prop firm, My Forex Funds, they have a slightly different way of approaching the accounts and profit splits. You can see down here that they have 3 types of accounts, so rapid, evaluation, accelerated. Evaluation, they mentioned profit split up to 85%, which is okay, it's not too bad. The other ones though do work slightly differently, so like rapid, for example, the big sort of bonus with this is there are no real targets to go for. If I scroll down and show you at the bottom here, so no targets, but we only get paid 12% of the profits you earn in the account. So that is a bit more restricted, certainly, when we compare it to the others. But obviously, in terms of this, target-wise, that could be helpful for certain traders. If you're starting out, you're worried about hitting those quite high targets for getting in entrance exams. This could be something to look at. But you're suffering in terms of that profit payout. FTMO wise, fairly simple. They go from 80 up to 90%. So default payout is 80-20, but they'll go all the way up to 90%. So it's something we're considering, and they'll increase the balance of your FTMO account. So something to look at there. As I said, again, there's no perfect example there, but obviously as traders, we really want to aim for a higher profit split where we can achieve that, get the most out of our trading there. The next thing to consider are the rules that prop firms impose on you with your particular trading account. Now, there are loads of these. I won't cover all of them. We'll go through a few key ones and just compare examples. But in general, things like, do you trade with an EA? Is it automated trading? There are quite tight restrictions on that. Trading times, how long you can hold trades open for, and also looking at things like, if we do have any commission, etc. on particular trades, how many trades you can have open at any one time. There are lots of rules to consider. It's always best to read through these fully. I'm not going to go through all of these on every account on this video, of course, but as a word of caution, it's certainly worth checking out and making sure that you're not going to fall into any particular circumstances where you're just in breach of the prop firm's rules. So they're all slightly different, but most prop firms have a fairly standard set of rules together. Let's have a look at a couple of examples though. So if we start by looking through Funded Next, they have a set of rules on their site to compare their express and evaluation models, and a lot of these rules are very similar. Some are different, obviously, trading earnings wise. There are major differences between how they run their express and evaluation model, which I know we've covered a little bit previously on this video. But if we look down at other things, let's look at the bot usages. It's a common question I get asked by traders who are looking to do prop firms. Are there any rules governing, can I use an EA, for example? So you can see here slightly different rules based on each type of account, but in general, there's kind of forbidden areas here, certainly, particularly trading copying. That is an absolute red flag for most most prop firm accounts. If we have a look, at Audacity Capital, you'll be able to see down here trading guidelines, and if I scroll down, risk parameters, etc. Major news events is a popular one on funded trade prop firm accounts. Positions must be closed during major news events. Weekend positions, sometimes they'll let you hold, sometimes they won't. On most prop firms I've seen, they're quite strict on not letting you hold weekend positions, so it's certainly worth considering that. But in general, these are areas that I would look through and see how much does it affect your trading. If you don't use an EA, for example, does it really matter? No, probably not for quite a lot of you. Do you want to hold long term over the weekend? Again, for most traders, maybe that doesn't affect you. Major news events might, so it's worth just checking that and remembering that, as we transition from trading our own account to trading a prop firm account, we're not going to be able to trade exactly the same way. There are going to be certain restrictions, which obviously comes with the fact that you're trading for somebody else. So whatever they are, whatever prop firm you look through, it's always worth bearing these in mind before you jump in. The final step I want to talk about is what to do when you're starting to profit in your prop firm account. How easy is it to access those profits? How easy is it to scale up, for example? And this is going to be different for every trader, and obviously circumstances wise, you might want to leave the money in your account, scale it up to get a larger account quicker, or you might want regular profit withdrawals. So certainly something to consider. I'll talk through a couple of these things. I mean, this isn't as major, I would say, for traders, but it's worth bearing in mind if you're wanting to get regular withdrawals of your profits. So FTMO have a fairly detailed description of how to withdraw profits on their site. I won't read through all of this word for word, obviously, but you can see that, monthly basis by default, but you can change those rules around. We don't need to score any minimum profit, which is quite useful in terms of scaling up to those higher accounts particularly. It says there, if you prefer to keep your profit split on your account to grow and accordingly build up your balance, you can do so. But they will always withdraw their share of the profit split. So something worth bearing in mind there. If we have a look at, say, My Forex Funds, for example, their accelerator program, they do weekly payouts instead. So a little bit more regular. Depends on what you're after there. Obviously, again, there's that balance about leaving money in the account to grow it and taking money out on a regular basis if you need it. I mean, certainly one aspect some of our traders look at, and I know it's quite popular with prop firms, is to withdraw, put that profit into your own trading account and mirror the trades across. That's one strategy that I know quite a few traders who have prop firm accounts use. So it's keeping it within kind of the trading bubble, but it's moving it where you have a little bit more control. So it's worth considering those factors. And as I said, different prop firms have very different payout regulations. Some have, we can only pay out if you achieve a certain level of profit, and then you'll be able to withdraw. Some have kind of no flexibility on that. Have total flexibility on that, but there is a transactional fee. So it's worth considering. Not a major point, as I said, but worth remembering and worth looking through when you're deciding on what prop firm you want to go with. So those are the key areas that I would focus on if you're deciding on which prop firm to go with. The ones we've gone through there are just a snapshot of a few prop firms that I know a lot of our traders have used in the past. There are plenty more out there. There will be some that will follow different rules and different entry requirements. Always worth checking, absolutely. There are a lot of firms out there you can go with. A lot offer free trials and a lot are very transparent about the rules. So it's always worth double checking, finding the best one for you to apply. And when you're successful, what's the payouts like, what the account size is like, etc. What's the profit split like? Worth considering, certainly. As always, guys, though, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comments below, or get a call booked in with one of our team. Cover anything you want on there, find out about how we trade, how some of our traders have moved from trading their own accounts to prop firms. One of the team will be really happy to go through that information with you. And until next time, hope you have a great time, and yeah, speak to you soon.